Well, here's my review of Michael Moore's Capitalism. It's a fantastic film. Here he goes and tells the entire world what I've been talking to people for about 2 years now. This is my cool truck. So, one of the parts of it that I thought was really cool was the fact that he pointed out he has this way of just being straightforward and honest with people. You know, people, I don't know, I said it before I went in, that, I need that light, that there are some people that don't like his films for whatever reason. I liked Sicko. Now we see all this healthcare reform stuff. I enjoyed Fahrenheit 9/11. The thing with Michael Moore is people will say that, you know, what he is one-sided, but I guess it seems that way when you are brainwashed with this other way of thinking. I do enjoy the ideas that they instill, that, you know, you are free to have your own business, you're free to buy whatever you want. The success of, he gave an example like ice cream. The success of the ice cream maker depends on you making a good ice cream and people purchasing that ice cream, and that's how the system runs itself. But when you're taking the brightest people in America and putting them in the financial sector, where people are making money and not creating anything, they're not really giving anything to the society as a whole. It's just making money on making money. They're not building a car. They are actually they're gambling to see which way a market will go, up or down. In this society, is it a good way to make money? Of course it is. It was designed that way. But in all reality, you're not being a creator. You're not producing anything. You're just taking. So I think that's the bad part of it. At the end of the movie, he had this Bill of Rights that FDR wanted to implement into our society, but never got to do it because he had died before he was able to do that. But things that were said, was, basic rights of a worker or people in general, really. You have good health care. You have, a way to feed your family. You've got basic needs, And do I think on one side that the people that put forth a lot of effort, and I was having this discussion with somebody before, sometimes I understand the concept of other people where they go, well, don't you think it's fair that if you work your ass off, that you make a lot of money and that you be rewarded in life? Okay, I can see that point of view. But I also see the point of view that you're going to have unless they automate everything, they automate trash cleanup, they automate the entire banking system, they automate everywhere you go in a grocery store, instead of there being a checkout clerk there is self-checkout. Until everything like that is automated, you're still going to have this employee that makes very little money because they're paid based upon the type of work that they're doing. So therefore, how do you take care of that person? Because if all those people, and it's probably not going to happen all at one time, they aren't going to all get sick at one time, but those people don't have good health care, and they don't have a way of staying healthy, they can't function in that job. And then they don't have the money because they have a $6 an hour job, $8 an hour job to do anything. Now, partly people would argue, well, if they believed in themselves enough, they wouldn't have that job. But that misses the whole entire point. You will always need that employee until you figure out how to make that job that they are doing automated, where you don't need a human being to do that job. Till that happens, you will have that person doing that job. And do you look at that person and say, well, you know, because they decided that they don't want to strive hard to not work at McDonald's, they don't want to strive hard to not, be a street cleaner or whatever they're doing, that's some menial task that you wouldn't want to do. You can't impose that thought on them, because there's always going to be that person that does that job. So you can't say, well, it's their fault for not wanting to be in the financial arena or some really high-paying job. It's their fault for not doing that. The argument doesn't stand, because we're not talking about someone we know, Joe. We're talking about in general. That job will always need to be done by somebody. You will always need to go to Best Buy and buy your electronics from somebody. You will always need to go to a restaurant and have somebody serve you food until that job's automated. So to think and say, well, it's their fault for choosing that type of life that they lead, I personally, it's a wrong approach. I believe that everyone should strive to do something better with themselves, with their lives, but not everybody's gonna be able to do that. So, there's my little rant. Hopefully it came across correctly. Love the movie. I think people should see it. Does it mean that the way that we do business now should be completely abolished tomorrow? No. Should it be revised? Yes. Should it be reformed? Hey, that's a word we're throwing around a lot lately. I think so. I think the nature of the beast has to be regulated again. Because when you have people that are in the financial industry, like, for instance, Goldman Sachs, Mr. Moore used that as an example, go and blow out all of their competition out of the water, AIG, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, all these people, they blow them out of the water with the tactics that they're using so they can be the one on top. I think that's a problem. You can't have those types of people working in the government. And then they go and try to, they're the ones that push through a bailout, a $7 billion bailout, and put a clause in there that says no one is allowed to ask them where the money is going to be going. And then they make them sign it. And they do it. The first bailout was turned away because the American people went to Congress, or wrote the congressman and told them they didn't want that, so they defeated it, and then they did an about face and put it through. Why? Because the powers that be made sure that the stock market dropped 777 points in one day. The largest drop in one day. And scared everybody. Oh, that's what's going to continue to happen. Oh, the sky is falling. If you understand that the sky is not going to fall, because if everything falls, if there's nothing for the wealthy to, if there's no value of anything, then they're no longer wealthy. They could have billions of dollars, but if there's nothing to spend it on, because there's nothing here as a society, because they let it fail, then their billions of dollars mean nothing. So the society won't go away. So all the people that are afraid of that happening are just Chicken Little. Anyway, there's my rant. It's Sunday, so here's a long video for you, because I don't normally put them out, but there were people out there that were wanting to hear my review on this. One friend in particular, Lacey. So there's my review for you, Lacey. But I had other friends wanting to know as well, so there's my take on it. I could go on and on about this, I'm sure, but, YouTube only allows 10 minutes for a video, so there you go. You guys have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.